on, everybody? So this is week 3 of season 2 of the Rocket League Tuesdays, and I'm on board with my man Ninja Rider. So we're looking forward to getting right into some action with a bunch of regulars, it almost seems like, for the past 2 weeks that have been showing up on a consistent basis tonight. So again, I ask this question every night, but we've seen a lot of changes. We've seen a lot of upgrades in what people are doing. What are you looking forward to, I guess, the most tonight?
I just want to see some improvement more than anything else. Getting used to playing on location more than anything else is probably one of the most important things that you can do here in these sorts of setups. Talked to a few people who showed up at Oakland last weekend, or last week I should say, and said it was an absolute blast.
That's good to hear, because we've had, again, at each, unfortunately, some locations less of a turnout, but it seems like where people are showing up, the community is getting the word out, they're getting the message out, and our chat at the end of the night and during the stream has just been blowing up. I mean, they've been going crazy with support. Being able to watch your friends and support them on a LAN event is huge. So I'm super excited to just keep pumping out this high-paced, high-action Rocket League fun that we get every Tuesday night. So, again, 5 total locations that they can show up and play, 2 different tournaments that they can also enter, a 1v1 and a 3v3. So not a bad deal for $15 if you're looking to kind of test your skills in Rocket League at a LAN.
It's 7 locations.
7?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So you get 5 different satellite locations within Walmarts around the country, and then ESA Oakland and here in Orange County. You can show up, have a little bit of fun, see what happens, and you never know. You might actually score some points. I'm being told that we actually have some standings for said points, which would be pretty cool. We got some final prizes coming up.
We still haven't
hopefully
announced,
to be announced
I was going to say,
soonly.
Yeah, we haven't officially said exactly what's going to be announced for the grand overall prize, but keep in mind, guys, each week you guys have a chance to kind of rack up some points here as we see Sinister Nation, and this is what I was curious about. I don't think we got the points at the end of the stream because Sinister Nation took first place week 1. Week 2, they took second place.
Second place, yeah.
And it was Frost that won last week, right?
I believe so, yeah. And Frost took like a 3rd or 4th or something like that in the first week. So that's why they're second place. But yeah, Sinister Nation looking pretty good right now. Still plenty of time, though, for everyone to, dethrone them, if you will. CC Tigers, Come On Ray, and Baja Boys looking to do just that.
And that's one of the things that I guess we really need to emphasize here is each week you get points for showing up. So this leaderboard is going to be corrected and changed on a consistent basis for you guys. So here we see rank 30 and Gucci Raven. I feel bad that they're in second place because if I remember correctly, week 1, that was the team that it was past their bedtimes and they had to leave.
They had to leave, yeah. And this is the Esports Arena out of Fort Worth. So, yeah, I mean, rank 30 coming in. They took the win last week, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. It was between them and Frost.
Frost, I believe. Something like that, yeah. And these are all based off of certain locations, and that right there, Fort Worth, Gucci Raven. Upper 90 showed up last weekend, last week was pretty cool. Boomba and Rockwell High. Not sure if that's an actual high school.
That'd be pretty cool.
But it would be pretty sweet. We had, I got a little bit of news on that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Oakland coming in here, Rush Hour and Predictable.
So they're holding the leaderboards, but again, all I'm really seeing for Oakland is if you're a Rocket League team or, again, trying to get your name out there, that's a spot if you're in the Oakland area where you have a chance to kind of take either first or second place with just this week. And we still have plenty more weeks for you guys to rack up points here. First place 10, second place 6, and it just kind of trickles down from there. So a first place or second place win on any of the upcoming weeks is definitely going to put you guys in a top leaderboard position to take home that grand prize, which, again, we're trying to be secretive for a reason, guys. We want you guys hyped up for this. We want you spreading the message out there. But looks like we might have game 1 of the best of 3 series hyped up. So I'm going to hop on board with them. It's Sinister Nation on board. And it looks like round 1. So we're getting kind of just right off the bat here. And
yeah, I think the players are looking for a remake. A lot of lag going on here. So we're going to have to back out of this one. Yeah, reset the lobby.
We see that happen time and time again, just kind of.
We've seen it happen a couple of times, yeah.
Getting set up, so.
But yeah, you were talking about the prizes and things. All those points actually add up to a tally towards at the end of the season. Whoever has, I believe it's the most points out of the 8.
I think so, yeah. They get I just want to.
We can't say anything. God, it's big. It's huge. We're actually really excited about it. There's a lot of plans in the works to bring live Rocket League to the masses, if you will. And it all comes down to just all this community support that we've been seeing. Saw a little bit on Reddit. I mentioned my friends up in Oakland went out and played last week. That buddy happened to just be out there and heard about this and was
just kind
wanted
of word
to
of
go
mouth
and
type
hang
of
out.
thing.
Yeah, and of course we saw James Bot on.
That's right.
Showing up with a few players, having a little bit of fun with it. James Bot, of course, is an RLCS caster for those who don't know. And Furtive was my buddy. He almost made it to the end.
I was going to say, I think we saw.
We watched in the back room.
Yeah.
Because they were elbow deep in their series and we couldn't join. But yeah, it was they were so close, so close. And mind you, if you show up as a solo to a location, you don't have a team or you can't assemble a team or whatever, we'll help match you up with some people who happen to be in other esports arenas. So there is that
opportunity for sure.
I was looking for a different word, but opportunity is there. Yeah, of course, you show up and you just want to play and be in the tournament, then yeah, it's a perfect time for that.
And that's huge for you to bring up because, again, you don't always get an opportunity to test your skills in a LAN environment for Rocket League. So the fact that this is a weekly chance for these guys, and again, 7 locations, so just to rattle them off here: Roseville, Colorado Springs, Spokane Valley, Tulsa, Oakland, Fort Worth, and Santa Ana. So 7 places you guys have a chance to get some Rocket League work in here as we hop on board with Rockwall and Sinister Nation. So looking big things to come out of Sinister Nation, being a back-to-back competitor here for us at the Esports Arena Rocket League Tuesdays, and our man Vert getting a ball touch right off the bat here. So he's been in the action week after week. So I love saying his name because he seems to be the hype man for Sinister Nation. He seems to be the overall leader. He carries himself really well, and it seems like his team, again with Kent showing up here, they're looking to really take advantage of this opportunity that the Esports Arena is presenting themselves as. Unfortunately, Noha just puts the ball right into the net.
Yeah, Noha right here got a great challenge. Didn't quite see who was a little bit too far up. Looked like Laugh. Just too far up on the challenge, and there was nobody back able to get back in time before, well, let's face it, a score just flat out happened.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen from time to time, especially if you're not exactly sure. You know, the team chemistry may not quite be there. Maybe you're not warmed up. This is technically the first round for this bracket. We had 4 teams show up in Fort Worth.
And that's one of the things that we've talked about just for a brief moment, that if you're a singles player, keep in mind that some of these teams that we may be watching or that are participating might not be teams that, you know each other all the way or have played together. They're just kind of, we're trying to figure that out too, if they're showing up as a cohesive squad, if they've got any online practice or not. But so far, Rockwell putting in a second goal with Spanish Ninja there with the amazing off the counter. It's 2-0 against one of our best teams that have been showing up for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, you know it is. Sometimes it happens. You know, you're going to have a couple of bad games here and there, and you just got to push through it as a team. Laugh going for a shot there. That really, honestly, that really should have went far side. But, and again, Laugh kind of getting in the way here. Vert, we should mention as Vert looking for it. Oh, it bounces off of the
bad angle there.
Bounces off the backboard there. A little bit tough. But Vert has shown a lot of love on Twitter. If you guys want to follow him, it's @VertGG. This guy's been pretty awesome, actually. He's really excited about this opportunity here to come out and play some live Rocket League. His Laugh again, a little bit off target, but we're starting to see a little bit of offense coming from Sinister Nation. They're going to have to put forth a whole ton more shots, though.
Seems like Sinister Nation is finally trying to warm up here as Vert comes in with the fake, and ultimately Spanish Ninja just in the wrong place where it bounces off and goes in for him. So perfect fake coming from Sinister Nation from Vert. And Laugh just able to kind of touch the ball and be there if he needed to. Oh, perfect block.
Yeah, that bump.
It seems like finally maybe it just took a little bit of shouting Vert's name out there. He's hearing us on the main stage, but now they're starting to warm up, and that's what we like to see because, as you put it, Vert and Sinister Nation guys have been doing such an amazing job every single week about showing up, being very positive with the community, and doing their best to just put on a great show for not only us, but you guys out there that are looking to be entertained by some Rocket League action. So.
A couple of misses there from Sinister Nation. Wasn't exactly expecting that for sure, but there's just a little bit of miscommunication right now. Laugh not quite on the same page. Both, and the Kent and Vert have kind of clashed with him a little bit on the play calls as Laugh looking for it.
And I think that, I'd have to, again, take a look at the footage from last week. Oh, almost a conversion there. But I think Laugh is new to the squad. I don't remember calling his name out last week, so that could be part of the reason we're just seeing a little bit, false touches, maybe some miscommunication there. Sinister Nation going back-to-back with 2 weeks with their full squad, and then maybe have just a villain right now. But
that'll work.
Let's go.
The Ken coming through with a demo on the play. Spanish Ninja just creeping up on it, then turns into a near double commit. The demo on the defender there. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite see who that was. I think it was No HUD. And then Works and Spanish Ninja had to scramble to try to make some sort of save happen, and it's just not going to work that way. And we're tied up at 2. Sinister Nation going a bit sinister on it. A slight delay there on the kickoff. I kind of like it. Cheeky for sure as Works on a miss. Spanish Ninja over to No HUD.
So it definitely seems like Laugh is a little bit better positioned defensive-wise than he is when he goes for the offensive pushes here for Sinister Nation. But Sinister Nation definitely heating up here, getting the ball touches a lot more of the time, and just kind of winning the control as Vert just comes in with the clutch goal there. Yeah,
Vert's just kind of staying back here. The Kent kind of playing this one off of the corner, and that had to have been a call for sure, as Vert just coming off the sidewall like that. Pretty basic shot for him.
Right.
Mind you, he's shown a lot of mechanical skill, and right there is a definite example of that. Looks like we have a little bit of an issue.
So he's going to put I don't necessarily blame Vert for putting that in there, because until you hear the whistle or official ruling is that there's a crash, just keep playing. But we did get the call out after that goal there from HUD that their game crashed. So that could be why the scoring lead goal came in, but that always brings up a lot of questions when the game starts for this next series, because if I remember correctly, before that lead goal came in, score was tied, 2-2, and I want to say there was maybe 2.5 minutes left before they took the lead. So unfortunately playing a man down here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get the reset, because not a whole lot you can do in a situation where a guy just loses connection or isn't able to keep into the game there. So we'll keep in mind, all of our viewers and guys, that this is probably going to be either a remake here, 2v2 score, or we may give the lead over to Sinister Nation, because that goal did seem to come in either right as the game crashes or right after, which is going to be hard to know for sure. But we'll get in touch with our producers and our people at the facility to find out exactly what happened there. But so far, again, Laugh is doing a little bit better of a job. Sinister Nation doing a little bit overall of a better job, just kind of getting the work in, feeling each other out a little bit. Again, we figured out that Laugh is their new guy to the squad, so just maybe trying to figure out exactly how they play together as a full squad.
Looks like they're showing a little bit of synergy here, but this is turning into a little bit of a, well, it's a kill factor.
Yeah,
let's face it. But so let's just kind of open our eyes a little bit to what would happen online.
Right.
In situations like that, online basically dictates that you get back into the game as fast as possible.
Gotcha.
Whether that be 10 seconds or 30 seconds or a minute and a half or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If your game is being streamed and you have an issue, whether it be internet out or whatever, you play out the game.
Okay.
In situations like that. Now here, I don't think they were anticipating that. So we're just waiting for a ruling from the TO to make sure that we have the correct ruling. It can be a couple of things, but we just need to make sure that everyone is on the same page. And mind you, we have multiple locations as part of the broadcast. We have multiple people working in the background trying to make sure that everyone is on the same page. Is logistically very tough.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I applaud Esports Arena for stepping up to do something like this.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that I think we saw coming from Sinister Nation that they did a great job about, is they might have not known what to really expect because that happened. So when the guy disconnected and the ball started off, you could see that they were a little bit timid on what to do.
Right.
And then Vert was like, all right, we're just going to put it in and we're going to keep playing it out because that's what we're used to. So
yeah.
Exactly. So
no, that's just kind of what you do. You keep playing. Especially in a a best of 3 situation, you want to make sure if you're going to win it, you got to make sure you win it.
It's one of those things you hate to see, but like you said, using your experience, using your prior knowledge, being in those online situations, you just play it out and do the best that you can. So we'll see a little bit of a new challenge here because overall it seemed like Blue was doing a really good job at kind of controlling the pitch, controlling the ball, and then all of a sudden Sinister Nation just came out of nowhere with 2 back-to-back goals to equalize the game. And then, unfortunately, right when that game crash situation happened, they either scored the goal before the guy disconnected or right after. So, hopping into game 2 here. So, going to start off fresh. Everyone's kind of just resetting the lobby here for you guys. But we want to hear from you in chat as far as what you guys would like to see more from either us or the players in Rocket League. Because, again, every single Tuesday, we're trying to bring these events to you guys from multiple locations. Again, 1v1 events, 3v3 events. And this is something that the community so far has been super excited and super positive about. So anything that we can do to make that experience better for you guys, we're all ears. So I'm going to probably hop right back on board with game 2, maybe figure out if they're able to get that game started.
They're going to do a redo.
Okay.
Okay, so in order to have everyone connect as far as the broadcast and all that stuff, we do need to actually put it on the internet.
Okay.
So, I mean, this isn't necessarily a hidden thing or anything. Anybody who has watched a Rocket League tournament knows that everybody has to be in the same lobby in order for all this to work. It kind of makes sense, obviously. So it's a LAN environment.
Right.
I think we need to stress the environment part of this. So maybe a little bit of fourth wall breakage here. Let's Deadpool it a little bit. We're watching the game online, obviously. And so the plan is basically to bring the score essentially we're going to put Sinister Nation up 1 and then let the time run down to about, I think they said 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes.
Was where the clock was at when that came through?
Something like that, yeah. So the score technically was 2-3 in favor of Sinister Nation when the disconnect happened. So you got to go off of that. And basically what they're going to do is reset the score line and wait for the time to wind down.
Gotcha.
I've seen this done online before.
Okay.
They're trying to mimic what happens in an actual LAN environment.
Right.
Anybody already knows this isn't crazy information or anything.
Yeah.
When you have LAN control, you can set the score, you can set how much time is left, and start. It's a kickoff. Unfortunately, obviously, you have to do something.
Yeah.
So they would just have another kickoff. And what they're going to do, basically, is wait for the time to run down. You can't do this on an online lobby, mind you. So they're going to wait for the time to run down. And looks like it. Yeah, minute 45.
Okay. So right when it gets close to that, they're just going to put the ball in, set a new reset, and start the game off. And
no, minute 45, they're basically going to just go.
Just go. Okay.
Yeah. They kind of have to call it. It's a bit of an audible. But it's a simple way to handle things,
right?
Essentially. So better have your reaction time up.
Well, and maybe an opportunity to, again, stress why you guys need to communicate to your friends and all the Rocket League community about what the Esports Arena is presenting for you guys is because the more people we can get to show up at each location, that makes our jobs and our producers' jobs a lot easier because then, like you said, they don't have to connect everyone from different locations. We can start to have true LAN environments and tournaments inside each of those locations, which would be awesome. So the more people, the more teams you guys get to show up, it is competition, but at the end of the day, if you're looking to prove to yourself and everyone why you're the best, you don't want to say that you beat these guys down here. You want to say that you were able to take out the best of the best of the best, sir, like Will Smith once said.
Yeah, right. So the other thing, too, is we're going to try to feature as many players as we can here on this stream. And we'll try to offer up some decent casting.
Somewhat, yeah. I think so far they've been a fan of everything we've been doing so far. So
yeah, it's all right.
I haven't pulled up chat yet to see.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it right now.
And my heart's just going to break.
I don't want to watch
it. Me melt away.
I don't want to watch
it. Sadness as I pull up the
Don't get me wrong. I love the community, and while I'm casting though, it'll just. You guys will mess with my head. That's not an invitation.
Again, though, so far, everyone's been very positive, very, I guess, friendly with the atmosphere. When you walk downstairs or you walk into one of these events, there's no bad blood. Everyone's going to trash talk you in a nice, friendly way, if there is such a thing as friendly trash talk, which I like friendly banter, so I truly feel that there is. But looks like we finally got all the scores set up correctly here.
Yeah, well, close enough. They got the time clock close enough, and they actually did what you suggested, actually score a goal, and that'll start off the game right then and there. So about a minute and a half left now. Still game one. This one, slow bouncer and in. Laugh will record one and give it a 2-goal lead here for Sinister Nation. Not bad.
I don't think anyone was really expecting this to come in, but the perfect demo by Vert. Maybe he saw that and just the lucky bounce goes off the top bar and bounces in. So congratulations to Vert there for the awesome play, and now putting the team up 2 goals. So again, round one, best of 3. This is kind of where you want to be, especially with the first game, just kind of trying things out, trying to figure out what exactly maybe your overall plan is as a team, as Kent just puts the ball right in front of the goal for Vert, but unfortunately Vert unable to connect there.
No HUD on the pickup. Laugh attacking. That's exactly what he needed to do. Works. That's a big miss. Nobody there to back him up, and the double commit in the corner absolutely biting them.
I was going to say, I had no idea what happened there, but it just seems like the goal was completely left open, and Kent just able to connect and put it in. So hands out to Sinister Nation, and this is one of those things where if you are Rockwell, I'm going to go ahead, and if you're the captain, you need to talk to your teammates here and say, you know what, guys, this is a throwaway game. You know, everyone's just shaken up a little bit because of the settings and the game, you know, unfortunately crashing. So let's put this game in the books. Let's get our momentum back behind us and see what we can do to win game 2 here. But this is the opportunity where you really want to start figuring out as a squad what is and isn't working for you, because you got 2 more games now in this series where you've got to do something to make sure your team makes it to the next round or doesn't at least advance on to losers. So I believe all night and for all season, guys, we're running best of 2s here. So
best of 3s.
Best of 3s.
Yep.
And is it single or double elimination?
We're on double elimination. That's the thing, guys. You come in, you sign up, you're able to play at least 2 games in the tournament, and then of course you can hang out and, you know, mess around with your buds or
definitely
just chill,
research,
whatever you'd like to do, and maybe scout your opponents. Nice shot here from No HUD, but Laugh right there. Looks like Sinister Nation has kind of worked out the kinks here. I think Laugh has relaxed a little bit, although the pinball effect in this crease really not a great way to go most of the time.
So far, like you said, Vert and Sinister Nation just doing such a good job at controlling the pitch and the ball, and it seems like so far Rockwell is just kind of shutting down. They don't have an answer for anything, as Vert coming up big here with the block and the connect, and wow, what an amazing dump off to just everyone getting their hand on the ball here, and they said, you know what, Vert's taking it home. His name's getting called out. Put it in, boss.
Rockwell scrambling here. You can see Laugh trying to find the angle, and then he rushes for it. In a much more organized team, I think, Rockwell would have been able to, or should have been able to just clear that one out. But they're having some trouble on the defense. Let's face it, straight out having a very hard time.
And there could be a multitude of reasons why it's causing them to unfortunately just not connect or work together as a team here. But I think I'm just going to make an excuse for them. I really just think it came down to that disconnect. I think it kind of threw off the momentum they were having, maybe the warm-up features that they were kind of working on. That just throws everyone off when you have to stop what you're doing, talk to the refs, get them involved, and kind of start over. So we'll see if Rockwell's maybe able to turn it around here. But so far, Sinister Nation being our you know, back-to-back week, champions, and then second place, I expect them to take home the series here. So
I mean, pretty much, yeah. But Rockwell still has a chance. We've seen a couple of instances here where they definitely have the skill to kind of figure things out. The question is, are they going to tilt?
Right.
Easy to do. You know, you can get kind of frustrated here. Especially in your live, you got your buds looking at you like, dude, really?
I think
it's easy to do.
I think that's the exact face that Vert and everyone that's been on his side would make right now if they dropped and had this reverse sweep happen, because they're doing such a great job, and Vert's teammates and friends have been able to just kind of make sure that they don't let them get away with too much so far in our weekly Fortnite, or not even Fortnite, but Rocket League. I was gonna say,
Dude, it's not Friday.
I know. It's the weekend and it's only Tuesday, so we got a whole.
It's the second Monday of the week. We haven't hit the 5th one yet.
I'm so far ahead of myself. I apologize, everybody.
You gotta calm down.
Easy. It's Tuesday. It's
Tuesday. We still haven't come up with a really cool name for this yet, by the way. So suggestions in the chat if you don't mind. I'm sorry, the coolest one's already been taken. We can't use that.
We could, but we'd get
no.
Yeah.
No, we cannot.
We'd get a lot of flack for that. So we're just kind of waiting. Again, we want you guys to be able to have the best experience here. So just kind of working out all the technical difficulties, making sure everything's on the up and up for both teams here, Sinister and
Rockwell. Yeah.
I really want to see more of Rockwell. I think they just haven't been able to really have the opportunity to show up on stream yet, just because of everything that's happened. So I want them to stick around for sure.
Yeah, I have a feeling that, in this particular instance, it would be a good idea to go ahead and change computers.
I would say it just seems to maybe start fresh, give them a.
Well, so to kind of maybe explain a couple of things, there was an update today. The esports shop did go live. Holy cow, it's amazing. Maybe. It's really cool. I mean, it looks awesome. Let's put it that way. Think what you want about it, but seriously, all that stuff looks absolutely awesome. So kudos to Psyonix for putting all that together, and kudos for the teams for allowing that to happen. But there was an update, and let's face it, anytime you update a game, something will probably not quite be right with every single PC. And those overpowered PCs in Fort Worth, maybe one or two of them just didn't quite get a great install.
Yeah.
And it probably just needs a reinstall. It happens from time to time. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
Every game does this.
And that's something that you brought up, is that they're playing maybe at a facility like Walmart that didn't have the chance to update all the systems, or maybe just one of the systems had an issue with the update, some firmware problems not updating, just causing some issues. So we're going to get it straightened out as soon as we can, guys, to get you guys right back into all the action, because that's what you showed up to see. But this is, again, why we want more and more people to come out for our Rocket League Tuesdays, because it's really going to give you the opportunity to test your skills and then answer a lot of questions about what you're going to be able to do with your Rocket League future that you probably wouldn't be able to get answered online, because it just creates a whole different atmosphere when you have people kind of watching over you, giving you tips, pointing things out that they would do or that you would do, and kind of just being able to communicate, like we talked about before, in person versus being a keyboard warrior is such a huge difference.
There's a bit of etiquette to that, though. You kind of have to wait until the series is over. At least do that. That gives the player a chance, number one, as the coach, that gives the player a chance to figure it out for their own, which is, I'm sure most people would want to try to do that anyways. But, you don't want them in the heat of the moment more than anything else. And thinking about it, it needs to be natural. So at the end of the series, if you have a tip for someone, maybe walk them and say, hey, man, I saw you doing this. Maybe try doing that instead. After they calm down, because they took a loss, whether it was intense or not, it was still a loss. So you got to kind of relax, let them relax for a minute, and then say something if you notice it. I mean, that's what we as commentators try to do. We're trying to do it live, and we expect that the players are going to go back and have a look at it maybe, and maybe if we happen to notice something that they didn't see on the pitch, maybe it'll help them out a little bit. Honestly, I think the color role or the analyst role is just that. It's for the player more than anything else. I mean, obviously the viewers, but
our viewers aren't dumb, though. I mean, like you said, they pretty much know what to look for. They know how to play. They knew the advanced movements and the skill sets that these guys are bringing to the table. So we don't have to worry about teaching them or being entertaining for them too much. I think one of the biggest things that you brought up is that when they're losing or they're in that negative kind of mindset, it is sometimes difficult when we see these series like we saw last week. That's really what's going to make or break a team, is being able to either communicate after the loss or in game to make those small corrections. And like you said, as a caster, I think it's much easier for us to see and point out what's going on that's great, what's going on that's wrong, because we're sitting here looking, not participating. When you're in the moment with all of that, it's a little bit harder to kind of figure out or think about what you're doing wrong. So
yeah,
with all the technical difficulties, guys, here, we're going to take a short break, but I hope you guys don't go anywhere, because we've seen one game tonight, which was pretty darn good. Didn't get to see it play out fully, but we definitely want to get back right on board with some more action. So don't go anywhere.
Yeah, hang out for a minute.
Just a little bit. So coming back from a little bit of a long break there, and just kind of trying to get warmed up back into the groove of things. You're playing peekaboo over there with the cue cards. I like it. Are you hiding from somebody? What are you doing over there, Ninja?
My face is the best ad.
I like it. You kind of remind me of what's his name from Home Improvement right now.
Wilson.
Wilson. Just
well, you know,
Esports Arena Wilson.
You know, Tim, you just got to be cool, man.
So, welcome back, guys. Rocket League Tuesdays here. Unfortunately, just
I have to bring the hat.
You have to, dude. You have to. We're gonna build a little fence for you, and every stream I'm gonna stand on this side, and I'm just gonna look over and ask you questions for every week from now on. So,
what did you do about your kids? Oh, you know, Tim, I just told them to suck it up.
what would you do about that aerial move there, Wilson? You know, Tim, and
you know, I was thinking about it right now, and just wouldn't have gone for it.
Huh?
Oh my God, that was brutal.
Yeah, just a little bit. So, hopping right back
we have a game.
Board. We do. After some long technical difficulties, it kind of shook up everybody a little bit here, but I like the name, the Duckling Plays. A little cute name there.
Indeed. But we have Coneheads versus Sugar Daddies. The car. This is what I wanted to bring up. Coneheads. The car and one of his buddies, I don't think on this roster, actually showed up for the Beyond tournament last night.
Did they now? Okay.
Yeah, the 2v2 tournament last night, and nearly made it to the finals. Did a fantastic job. Played pretty well, but it wasn't this particular roster, I should say. So,
okay.
Obviously a teammate from online. A big demo there. That was actually quite good here. Sugar Daddies.
I was going to say,
for some reason, that is reversed.
And we're going to stick by calling. I don't think I'm going to call out this individual player because of his name there. So we're going to stick with just the overall Sugar Daddy's team name. But I mean, it like you said, Coneheads, I believe they showed up week 1 here at the event. So that's awesome to hear that they actually decided to take their skills and test them elsewhere to see how they were doing.
Oh my God, the bumps! King Elite going absolutely ham on this shot from the midfield, just trying to, you know, be the anchor here. There was a demo on the play. That was DJ. And then the bump there. Fantastic read there by King Elite. Well done.
If he doesn't go for that bump and goes for the challenge, the block's there. He's not getting that goal in. So amazing to see that they're now up 3-0. And maybe that's what they needed yesterday. You know, a little bit of warm-up in the Team Beyond series to get things going, get the blood moving here. And now they're up 3-0 against Sugar Daddies with still 4 minutes to play with. So Sugar Daddy's going to have to think of something to answer here. But the car just playing with the ball in the air, doing all the right moves and putting it in.
Now rocking the Dominus here. Looks like he's got the Evil Geniuses motif going. The esports shop opened in the Rocket League within, you know, in game.
Which
and,
maybe could be one of the reasons why we're running into some issues today. And I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
No, it's great. I've seen a lot of screenshots. I also have not had a chance to take a look at it.
Okay.
But another score here by Coneheads, able to knock this one in. And I know, look, if there's one thing you're going to learn real quick about Rocket League players, they're memers. And they will do anything, to trip up the casters or anybody else watching for that matter. So I'm just going to come out and say it. That guy's name is DJ Buttcheeks.
What kind of tune is DJ Buttcheeks playing? Sorry, I had to. I just had to. That's a little bit of a cringe.
I bet you could guess the type of humor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, slapstick.
A little bit of toilet.
Oh, God. All the 12-year-olds are laughing now.
And that's fine. The 12-year-old in me is coming out here. But
a little bit, right?
I think we're just going to have a lot of fun with this commentary here because, unfortunately, Sugar Daddy's just...
They're having a rough time.
Yeah, and we're going to say this in a nice way. In all honesty, Coneheads just, unfortunately, probably the better overall team coming in with more practice, more awareness, communication. Again, we saw them show up week 1 and do a fantastic job. I think they made it to semis or finals. And then, obviously, Ninja, to hear you say that Coneheads yesterday did a great job at the Team Beyond event, making it almost to finals as well. So, again, guys, we've said this multiple times. We're just going to pound it into your heads again and again and again. But if you guys are Rocket League fans, which we know the community is because you guys have been asking for this for such a long time now, 7 different locations, 5 of which are inside Walmart. So all you really need to do is tell your parents, hey, don't you need some new bread sheets or a coffee pod or, you know, go shopping at Walmart. Do something with your life and let me play some video games. So Roseville, Spokane, Fort Worth, Colorado Springs, Tulsa, Oakland, Santa Ana, these are all great locations. You guys have every Tuesday 2 different events, 1v1s and 3v3s, to kind of get your Rocket League fix in. If
oh, the one's prowess. Look, okay, I should also mention the car, a fantastic ones player.
Okay.
He's not quite as known for it, but he's more or less an all-around player, but he does play a lot of ones, has made a lot of semifinals, made some finals even in a variety of ones tournaments over the last couple of years. So if you come across him, you might get Goomba stomped a couple times. I mean, he's actually very good at situations like that, and I'm surprised he actually missed that double touch. But last night he did play with Thunder, and he actually went up against AJ and Seabass. Now, for those who don't know, they are RLCS subs. They have experience on the RLCS field, and so they're subs now. Seabass actually was on Allegiance.
Okay.
So, you know, Coneheads did go down, and the car played with Thunder. Thunder, another well-respected name in the Rocket League community, the competitive community, if you will. Gotcha. Been around for a long, long time. So the car has a whole ton of experience. I had asked him before if he was going to make it out, and sure enough, here he is, of course.
Awesome.
So it's good to see him bringing out the Coneheads in style. I mentioned the Goomba stomping. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Amazing. There's no reason to go for that challenge there, but...
No, there is.
You think so?
Yes. The goalie was completely stuck, absolutely doing nothing on the goal line right there. Trying to time that, you know, you can't really do that in that situation. You have to be moving. And as these players evolve on the Sugar Daddy squad,
right,
they're going to kind of start to realize that and be able to conserve their movement. It'll do a whole lot of things. It'll save boost. It'll, you know, keep the rotation going, et cetera, et cetera. But as a goalie, you want to try to keep moving as much as possible to be able to thwart things like that. And you'll be able to move with that player. And as the player making an awkward shot like that, actually, that was a fantastic shot right here by Brock Meatslam, rocking the NRG.
I was going to say, we're just seeing a situation where overall Coneheads probably has the more well-versed or experienced roster coming into play here. But if you're a novice or someone to just trying to figure out, I guess, where you're at as far as your skill set goes, this is a perfect example of why you need to show up here, because you have people like the car who you could really test your skills against, because that's some of the biggest questions we have to ask ourselves when you're playing ranked online. You know, you start to feel good about yourselves. You see those grand champions, diamonds, platinums, all those things. And unless you actually have that 1v1, 3v3 experience against those RCLS pros, subs,
or RLCS, yeah,
it makes a big difference answering those questions of how good I am, how much opportunity, what do I need to work on?
At that high of a level, yes, but there is a lot of debate within the community as far as the how do I explain this properly without offending every single GC out there that isn't full-blown pro? The parity that is in the GC rank, granted, yeah, you might be in the top 0.2.5% or whatever it is, but there's a massive gap in MMR right now. And a lot of people are calling for another rank to break that up. So, you know, you hit GC, well, the battle's not done. You know, you still have a whole ton of improvement to make as you make your way through the ranks of Rocket League. You know, you hit GC, you're still not the best. You have another 1,000, 2,000, maybe even more players that are probably better than you.
And that's why I feel like showing up to the Esports Arena on Tuesday to, like you said, maybe go up against the car or JamesBot, you know, being able to say and solidify or answer those questions that we just brought up about where do you really stand as far as the rankings go. And I think there's MMR, the rankings and all that do a great job of generalizing skill. I think they kind of put you in a general category and say, this is where you kind of fit.
It's an overall game perspective more than anything else. It's not your mechanical prowess. It's, it's not just your game sense. You know, Rocket League is so much more than that. And luckily for Sugar Daddies, this is starting to wind down as an absolute stomping is happening. Yikes, 12-1, brutal. But I have to admit, you kind of expect this from Coneheads. They play very well together. I mean, and that's another thing, team synergy. You know, you're in ranked, you're with these random teammates, you never played with them before. You have no idea what's going on in their heads. Coneheads showing that when you know what your teammates are going to be doing next, you can play a lot more confidently.
I mean, that's probably the biggest gap as far as, again, I use this word lightly here, skill that we've seen so far these weeks. It was that game there. But, again, knowing who Orange was going up against, it, I'm going to congratulate them and say, just keep showing up, testing your skills, watch your footage. We've talked about this before. Go back and see what you guys need to improve on, and maybe talk to some people that are there solo or pick up some teams, try a different roster out. But LAN experience, that environment that we're in right now with the Esports Arena and the opportunities they're bringing, I mean, so many different teams right now, it's something that you don't really want to miss.
And one of the cool things is, you know, you have a high-level player in the car and his team, the Coneheads. You know, they're making a push for the highest level of Rocket League out there. They're good guys. They're probably would be more than happy to answer your questions. You know, what could we have done better? Did you see anything that maybe we need to work on, other than maybe the glaringly obvious that we pick up? But it's just one of those things that having a competitor's perspective of your play, that might be the most valuable thing that you can have here at Esports Arena in an event like this. I believe there is a game too.
We should hop on board here. I know we've had some slow starts tonight, but I love what you said there, because it's one of the things for me, and we talked about it with you before, being, you know, ex-pros and things like that in our different games, is that the Rocket League community overall, especially when you guys show up to these events, is really about pushing the community as a whole forward. So, like he just mentioned, there's no one here that's going to not want to answer your questions, because, speaking from experience, a lot of the casters or the pros know what it's like to be just in that blank space where you don't maybe have someone to go to be a mentor to answer your questions. And they could be simple questions as, what makes you go to X event versus this event, or what makes you want to practice versus you know, play online or LAN, and what makes you choose certain teammates or roles. So these are all great questions that you guys have the opportunity to show up and ask them seasoned veterans in Rocket League and get some honest feedback or some answers for. And again, the car just kind of showing off his aerial skills, just bouncing the ball across the map. Unfortunately, a little bit surprised to see it not connect there and go in, but I think he's going to get a great block by Butt Cheeks there, and the car's going to take this one in. It's going to be an easy 2-0 start for them here with an awesome, doesn't beat the flick. So overall, Coneheads here, I think just maybe taking their time. I think they're really going to use this opportunity here to prepare themselves for the next matchup and maybe test some things out that they may not always have an opportunity for when they're going up against somebody that's really good, like we saw yesterday with Team Beyond. So
yeah, that's another way to kind of test things out. You know, say you know, you're a better team, you want to just get a little bit of experience, you know, playing around each other instead of in, you know, separate rooms in your mom's basements. We've been there, we know.
Oh yeah, I spent quite a few years in my mom's basement.
Yeah, hey, you know, there's no judgment here. We'll joke about it, but there ain't no judgment.
Nothing safer in California than a basement, I hear, because of the earthquakes. So
until the whole house falls on you.
Unfortunately, yeah, but
but Conehead's taking an early 3-goal lead here. It's well, 4 of a kind on threes.
And exactly what we did, I guess, expect to see here. So we're going to try to keep chattering and keep you guys entertained. But again, just knowing the background that the car, Butt Cheeks, and the rest of his crew are running with here, I don't expect them to allow Sugar Daddies the opportunity to capitalize on any mistakes. And I think that's going to be the only time we really see Sugar Daddies score any goals, unfortunately, is if Coneheads just lets it happen on their own. But
you can see the rotational awareness of Coneheads. quite a bit. You can see, the way that they're playing this one through. They're leaving a man basically all the way back, and he does not attack until the other two are either on the way back or they're getting in position for a play. And then the other two, you have one forward challenging the ball basically at all times. And then when they are done, the second man is usually, in this particular case, is usually on the side of the field waiting. Grabbing a boost, kind of controlling the midfield more than anything else. Waiting and striking when possible, and right there, that's exactly what happens when you use that particular rotational style.
And just watching the background noise that's going on with everyone else on the field, it really seems like, unfortunately, Sugar Daddies is relying mostly on Brock to really play the defensive role, which I think, like you said, is showing the difference between Coneheads and them, is that every single player on Coneheads is aware of where they need to be in that particular situation, and they're not really playing specific roles. They're working together as a team, which is the big difference between these two guys here.
So Sugar Daddy's kind of playing a bit of an old school setup, maybe Season 1, Season 2 type setups, where you have more of a dedicated role. Most famously Gibbs on iBuyPower, what became iBuyPower.
Gotcha.
Gibbs played basically goalie.
Okay.
He would run a Merc and play goalie.
And that seems...
It was fantastic.
That
actually,
seems to be what Brock's method is here, but...
Now, the problem with this is what you're seeing here. The ability to play nearly all roles is so much more valuable in Rocket League than it is to actually have more of a set role, a forward, a center, and a goalie. It just doesn't work that way.
I mean, I'm coming from the first-person shooter perspective or atmosphere. I've always been a big proponent of relying and trusting your teammates to do what they're supposed to do or know their role. And I can see that come into play with Rocket League here. And I think the reason it's not working for Sugar Daddies is everyone's sure they know their role. The problem with that is sometimes you're put in a situation that no matter what your role is, especially with Brock right now, he's just getting beat on 2v1s. And if you're the rest of his teammates, there's not a whole lot you can really expect a goalie to do when he's got two guys coming at him. They can fake, they can go straight at him. You're putting, or I guess you're making his job a little bit harder than it needs to be.
Well, not only that, I mean, that third man needs to come up and play first man. Actually, wow. I mean, that was actually a fantastic shot from the side like that. Let's take a look at this. The car didn't get a great cleared. DJ was over there, but Brock Meat Slam. Oh, fantastic name. That is beautiful. Brock Meat Slam versus DJ Butt Cheeks. I said it. Yeah, that's right. It was said, and it's now on the internet.
And it was used in the same sentence.
That's right.
It sure was. So I'm gonna.
Tail of the tapeworm.
A little bit, but I mean, what are you gonna do about butt cheeks when it's in the game? So you just got to kind of use it.
You know, I mean, the guy's name is Meat Slam. I'm just saying.
Just
hey,
saying.
We're casters. We have to make sure we show the players as they want to be shown.
I want to properly represent their names.
Yes.
So that they're represented in a professional atmosphere.
That's right. So how dare we laugh? How dare we?
We don't know how serious of a name Butt Cheeks is for him. It could mean a lot to him and his family.
You know what? It could mean a ton.
It really could. His mom could be at home watching the stream right now, screaming her head off for her little butt cheeks. She really could. But
I mean, she could.
Yeah.
You never know.
How awesome would that be if your family showed up to an event, you're playing Rocket Cheeks, and you just hear in the audience...
You're playing Rocket Cheeks? I'm sorry, what? Hang on a second.
His name's already getting to me.
This went a little bit far.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. That's fantastic.
Yep. I'm not looking up what Rocket Cheeks is, and I'm just walking away from that one.
Yeah, you might want to just... yeah. So the car going in front of the ceiling shot, and you can see right there why a lot of people don't go with ceiling shots, because they're fairly easily defended.
A little bit slow and just kind of, unfortunately, just stuck in the air there. It's so high off the wall. But, I mean, they're not hurting in this situation. I think they're just having fun. I
mean, yes, but they are. I mean, they're bringing challenges to Sugar Daddies. They're definitely not backing down, and it almost seems like Sugar Daddies is actually starting to kind of figure themselves out a little bit. And I wonder if there's a little bit of nerves here. Sugar Daddies, maybe they don't have quite the mechanical ability that Coneheads have per se, but it seems like they've relaxed. and they're starting to show a little bit of team chemistry here. So I wonder if this was a pickup team or something along those lines that, you know, maybe they just don't play a whole lot together and, hey, we'll play 5 games and see what happens.
Oh, yeah, and that's one of the things, I guess, that isn't necessarily a bad thing that they might be walking away losers here. I mean, we see 2 people rocking the LC clan tag, it looks like.
Yeah.
1 rocking the HKD, so perfect pickup there that maybe that's, you know, Brock might be the 3rd man, or maybe he showed up, saw 2 guys there, and was like, hey, let's see what we can do.
Let's go.
And
my mom's shopping.
Because Butt Cheeks' mom's is busy, you know.
This one is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Meat Slam's mom is busy at Walmart shopping.
This particular location is in a Walmart. So
it is. Yeah.
You know, maybe just showed up and said, "Oh, hey, they're playing Rocket League. I'll play." And there you go. That's one of the beauty. The things of beauty of this particular setup. You know. And say, "Hey, Mom, do you need to go to Walmart? Maybe look at some." I don't know, random office furniture and pick up some toilet paper while you're at it, and I'll play some Rocket League.
So what a better chance than, like, get a rotisserie chicken, you know, some tortillas, some fresh pico de gallo. That's dinner right there, and then I would just be playing Rocket League in the middle of Walmart. I just throw it all in the shopping cart and just make my own tacos inside of Walmart.
Have a taco bar inside the Esports Arena?
That's how
Why
I am.
not?
Yeah. So if you guys ever want tacos, be sure to come down to the Orange County Arena, and I'll throw some stuff together for you while I'm casting some Rocket League.
We need a warning, though. This is a standalone Esports Arena. This is the OG. So we'll need a little bit of heads up so that you can bring it from home. Carne asada, please.
Carne asada, pollo. Carnitas, what do you?
I'll take carne asada.
Carne asada,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
¿Y todos with everything?
Just some salsa.
¿Yo hablando español?
No, just a little salsa.
Un
poquito.
So we're just kind of waiting, guys, for the matches to get back up on board here. But one of the best things that happened today is we're going to go ahead and combine the leaderboards and just bring all the action together, which is one of the things we talked about before. Is we really want to see some city rivalry going on. There's been some trash talk between locations so far. I think Spokane's done a great job. Oakland's always done a great job of representing themselves. Who else do we have that always shows up? Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs, Spokane. Yeah, you mentioned Spokane. We had a few from Oklahoma.
And then obviously all of our boys that are on Sinister Nation and all of their fans so far for the last 2 weeks have done a great job of being very positive and getting the word out there about these opportunities or chance to play.
Fort Worth was another one that had a lot of people show up the last couple of weeks. Tonight, a little bit of a slow night for them.
I really think everyone's just at home super excited about the update and just maybe didn't want to take the time to come out today. But we're still getting a lot of teams showing up and competing, which is awesome, even with that update. And again, we haven't even announced what the end of the season prize is, which once we do, I think a lot of people are unfortunately going to be disappointed that they didn't start coming out to these events sooner because, again, knowing what the prize is, guys, it takes everything.
Well, we know bits and pieces, and we know some rumors. We haven't even been told everything yet, which is fantastic. Oh, by the way, so we saw this first week. RLG Raymundo. So one of the players on the field here, right here. He is one of the guys that runs RocketLeagueGarage.com. Actually, I should rephrase that. It's I hope DMR Rawlings is watching this. It's rocket-league.com.
Got to get it right, man.
No, dash. Got to get that dash
in.
If you don't have the dash in there, it takes you to some other place. And
no shout-outs for them, yeah.
Whoa. It's just, the Rocket League actual website.
Great block there coming in, but unfortunately, Work's just not able to get the best angle, and I think his teammate just wasn't able to maybe have any boost to make sure.
Yeah, that looks like a low on boost situation there.
Yeah.
It's an awkward touch, but Raymundo on the I think he had the assist and a bit of a miscommunication there. Spanish Ninja had to come out for this. Rockwall moving on after. No, they did not face. So this is just Sinister Nation. This is Rockwall. My bracket hasn't updated. Oh, this is Rockwall versus Come On Ray. So this is actually the lower bracket round 1. These guys were right in the middle of it. It looks like 1-1. So this is the final game.
So the pressure's on. The nerves are starting to kind of kick in here. And so far from what I'm seeing from both teams as far as what we've seen from the rest of the night, a little bit closer of a matchup here as a goal comes in from Works.
And Rockwall right here. He's putting it together here. I like the touch here from No HUD. and just slams it home. I wonder if he actually plays with no HUD.
It has to be, because that communication there, at least for me, seemed to be synergetic, and I think the call out definitely came in, because that was a little bit of a tough shot or almost pass there to know that's coming, unless, again, like you said, they're communicating, they're working together. And we saw No HUD earlier do some fancy things on the first game that we were casting tonight, so maybe he'll come through again. But great challenge in there coming by Raymundo.
It looks like Spanish Ninja, who had a little bit of issue with his overpowered PC. They moved him to another PC, and it looks like he is firing on all cylinders, and all the afterburners are jetting up as well as, well, yeah, there he is. I was looking for him. He's playing third man, waiting for the challenge here as No HUD pops up. This could be big, and Raymundo knocks it away. Fantastic defense.
Oh, No HUD's touches on these balls right now are so clutch. They're just, he's putting it in the perfect place and allowing his teammates on Rockwall to really come into play here. And I think once Spanish Ninja starts to turn up, come out of that third man position a little bit more and start to play a tad bit more aggressive, we're really going to see Rockwall come through as the winners here. But Come On Ray really just kind of just playing it passive. I think feeling things out, making sure they don't make any silly mistakes here. As No HUD, though, just showing off the 1v1 skills and winning that flick. And here it comes. Defensive move by Raymundo, but the challenge comes in by No HUD to put the ball right in front of the goal. Goes for the touch, but unfortunately just puts it out. Now they're going to go for the reset, hoping the corner shot does come in. He's going to get blocked here. No teammates to follow up, but luckily Works putting it back off the backboard. This is where it gets really tricky, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes in unable to make the touch. And now all three guys are committed. Come On Ray is really looking to capitalize here, but unfortunately Rockwall able to get back, and I didn't really expect him to have enough time to make a defensive move there.
Oh, that's a big miss there on the defense by Come On Ray, as No HUD scooping this one past one. Didn't quite see who that was. And right back down and towards the net. Yeah, that was Raymundo. Couldn't quite get there in time. The rotation breaking down there right at the midfield. Takes a little getting used to sometimes, and that happens from time to time.
I think what we're seeing with Come On Ray is they're a little bit timid to pull the trigger on their decisions. You know, that hesitation is really what makes or breaks this game, I think, right now.
You mentioned the hesitation. That can actually mess up your teammates as well. So if you're experiencing a little bit of hesitation, your teammate sees that and is trying to keep the momentum going, then turns into a double commit. We've seen that a couple of times here involving Come On Ray.
Great challenge coming in there by Shammy to get the ball back in front of the goal. Unfortunately, Come On Ray not in the right position, but Raymundo still gets the goal in. And Rockwall just not rotating on the defense, got caught with their feet standing still a little bit here.
Yeah, a little bit, and it works. That's just a bad miss. That really needed to be cleared. He could have played a little bit more patient and stay on the goal line, and even just in the crease in general, would have been able to defend that a little bit better, just wait for the ball to kind of get away from the net. There was one chasing, but the 50 would have resulted in a clearance, basically, as Rockwall says, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna, yeah, No HUD, yeah, right in the net, if you don't mind.
I mean, we've seen No HUD tonight so many times, just perfect placement with this car to make sure that any of that geometry that's going to come into play to make sure that he's winning those bounces, those touches are coming off into his favor. So the kickoff comes into play here for Raymundo as Rockwall takes the lead there. But unfortunately, I think Works is just going to pop it in here and make it. Oh, it doesn't go in?
Yeah.
Wow, if I'm Come On Ray.
Wait for it. Oh, I thought it was going to be Ray and I'd be able to use the team name, but no. Looks like it was Shammy on that one. Honestly, very awkward. The guys running into the net needed to crank that car around and just clear the thing out of there, but
definitely needed to hit that
to see it.
Tokyo Drift e-brake and
yeah, and slam on the boost at the same time.
Just get that car right round, turn around. But it looks like Rockwall really figuring themselves out of what they need to do.
Sorry.
Driving home all night singing that song.
I
Thank
know
you
I
very
will
much,
not.
Ninja.
No. That will not happen.
We're getting it stuck in your head. I don't care what you say.
That sounds a bit threatening, sir.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So the clock winds down here as we go into the final moments of the losers round. And not a whole lot to really talk about in the final moments here because Rockwall just doing a really good job of shutting them down, making sure that they had an answer for anything that they were bringing to the table. And Fort Worth putting in a lot of action as far as Rocket League goes this season so far. So huge shout outs to all the teams and participants over at Fort Worth. Very happy with them.
It's been fantastic. The Dallas area, Dallas-Fort Worth area, absolutely replete with Rocket League players. Had the honor a couple of years back to cast the Dallas Open.
Really? Okay.
It was a completely community-funded. Any of the casters that were able to go were community funded.
Nice.
They paid for the ticket. They paid for everything. It was absolutely fantastic. And so I got to meet a few of the players out there, and they're absolutely passionate. The whole the whole Texas Rocket League scene is usually popping pretty good. Now, as of late, not so much, and there's a variety of reasons for that, most of which I just won't even go into. But back then, the early, kind of the mid days, if you will, a couple of years back, man, that the Dallas scene itself was moving very well, and it kind of helps that Texas, you're a couple of hours away from a bunch of cities if you live in any one of those cities. So a couple of hours, and you had a 50-person LAN.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So the better question is, on a Tuesday evening, can more people from those cities show up to Esports Arena and fill up a Walmart?
I mean, unfortunately we've seen that happen with one team. I'm drawing a blank on their names right now, but that team that had to leave early that one night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, they were at their location in the winners finals or semifinals, and they basically
semis.
So they didn't make it to the finals just because it was. Again, I make this joke, but most of our Rocket League pros are a little bit on the younger age, so we have to keep in mind that
I think they were college age.
Were they?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, on a Tuesday night with spring break coming up, who knows about midterms, finals. These are all things that come into question about who's going to be at these events, who you're going to be playing against, who's going to show up. I mean, not everyone's going to have the opportunity, and we've seen a few teams tonight so far that have been consistent, players have some fills and some subs tonight. I want to say Vert with Laugh, that's a new guy. One of the other teams we saw, they had a new guy tonight. So people kind of switching things up, and you brought up the perfect point that you can show up as a solar player and hop on one of these teams, and who knows, maybe go to finals and take home some swag and some money, which is awesome. So,
speaking of Vert, we're coming back with his team.
Are we now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the chat better blow up.
At least I think we are.
They have not disappointed us with any action, any weeks at all. They're coming to play, which is what I love to see.
And they're going up against possibly one of the better teams tonight, possibly the best team. Who knows? The semifinals, technically the upper finals, I should say. Coneheads versus Sinister Nation up next. Guys, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Esports Arena on twitch.tv. They started. They started. They got antsy.
Hold on. I'm running.
Vert, come on.
Whew. Did I get here in time? 4 goals.
Wait a minute. What?
What's going on here? I thought we just started. No. Coneheads.
Okay. All right, hang on. We're going to have to explain a little bit. Sinister Nation had a couple of issues. The Kent not able to join them for the rest of the evening. So
they're subbing out.
They subbed in someone who actually just showed up. It's Aunt Jemima, of all people, show up and end up subbing for Sinister Nation.
Come on. There's no way Aunt Jemima just... Someone picked up the phone, and they were like, hey, Kent's not feeling good. We need a ringer. What's Aunt Jemima doing? Is he on some pancakes? Is he busy right now? What is... This is not fair. Vert.
No, you know, hey, that's what happens. But now Coneheads, the Coneheads have a serious challenge here. You know, Vert has shown that he's definitely got some skill. Laugh looks like he is kind of come into his own here tonight.
And then you bring
in Aunt Jemima, who is a fantastic all-around player, always has been.
And this is something I think.
Oh my God!
Wow. That's why they brought him in. I mean, Laugh and see, this is the question here that really brings the point for me, at least as far as where this Sinister team's coming from, is that Laugh is new for us. I don't think we saw Aunt Jemima play with him last week. So the fact
we
that
didn't see him play last week.
But he was on a different team, right?
A different team, yeah.
So the fact that Aunt Jemima and Vert here are just able to kind of join teams together and flow so well. I mean, we didn't see the beginning of this game, but they're up 5-0, so something's working out for them.
That should have been a shot there from King. But we should also mention that we're actually in the upper bracket finals. This would be the winners finals, for those who are a little bit more familiar with that particular format. Coneheads versus Sinister Nation, the loser of this particular game knocks down to the lower bracket, who will face the winner of Sugar Daddies versus Rockwall. So it's not game over yet. So maybe Coneheads maybe feeling like they should kind of back off a little bit.
Maybe get it up on the wall for Vert.
Kind of wondering if it would be a good idea for the Coneheads to just get a little bit of intel on Sinister Nation, just to see how they're going to play with Aunt Jemima. And well, they're getting an eyeful. Let's face it.
That's a perfect strategy to bring up because, again, you being a caster, you're looking ahead. You're seeing, okay, we're down 5-0. This is a double elimination situation, so why not, if we're already down, like you said, just gain as much information to put ourselves in a better situation once this game and this bracket here resets. But, I mean, that's... So far, Sinister Nation is just taking away all the momentum, all the wind out of Coneheads. I mean, if you're Coneheads, you really got a lot of questions, and I'm almost saying you want to take a little bit break between matches if you can, just to kind of, like we talked about earlier, ask those questions, communicate with your teammate, and figure out what you need to do.
Attempting as Aunt Jemima predicted well and sends it out and away. Vert on the miss. It'll be Ricky DJ Butt Cheeks.
Oh, perfect demo there for Aunt Jemima to come in with the score. And again, the synergy between these players right now is just on point.
It really is. Let's face it. Woo. Aunt Jemima right there.
He's laughing about that one.
He had to kind of had to cut rotation on that, actually. Aunt Jemima was on the way back, actually. And luckily, he was able to pick up a couple of boost pads to send that ball towards the net. And, yeah, it's a 6-0 score line right now. And don't get me wrong, that's brutal. But, you know, Coneheads, I feel like Coneheads are getting a little bit outclassed here. But the problems that they were having as a team are basically just being exacerbated at this point. They definitely have the ability.
Right.
But like we mentioned time and time again, gotta play as a team.
And I guess that's, and I'll ask this more as a question for you, but I guess I'm a little bit surprised to see the score at what it's at right now. I expected the Coneheads to be a little bit closer here.
And King Elite right there, that's what I mean by playing as a team. King Elite actually followed the car through that play. Don't do that. You have to space yourself out. You must have space between each other so that you can pull off plays. I was going to say like that. Well, like that, actually.
Double touch off the wall into the goal for sure.
Oh, sure. Now, these are all basically just mechanical mistakes, but they're rotating. The rotation coming through, and Buttcheeks just couldn't get any mustard on that dog.
Yeah, definitely need to put a little bit more spin on it to get that ball and make sure it went in there. And Vert just coming in with the soft touch wasn't able to do a whole lot to make sure the ball got out of the goal there. But Aunt Jemima coming in here with the play, and I think this is going to be DJ Buttcheeks. Unfortunately, just misses the shot, which should have been a straight-on goal. And luckily, he's there for the follow-up, the car is. So, yeah. I mean, that's what you want to see in the final seconds going here. It gives you a little bit of confidence going into the next game. But again, 6-1.
You know, King Elite was actually way ahead on that play too. There should have been a passing play involved. Communication maybe not coming through on that. But you know, Coneheads, that right there is a learning game. Sinister Nation definitely considered a much better team. They're flowing a lot better than everyone else. Obviously, the addition of Aunt Jemima helping out quite a bit, but
still a little bit.
They still have to get used to each other.
Yeah.
You got to play with each other. And like I said before, though, Aunt Jemima being such an all-around player, has played with so many different people, been around the scene for literally years.
I mean, if you're Sinister Nation and you're sitting inside a Walmart, right? One of your guys, unfortunately, they can't, just not able to play or participate anymore. So now you're having to finish down the rest of the night 2v3 against the rest of the teams. You're really hoping to win this event out. And then there goes Aunt Jemima, just strolling through Walmart, looks in and goes, "You guys down a guy? You need a third man?" I mean, that's why you guys really need to show up to all these locations right now, is because you could have a chance to just, I mean, this literally just happened. Aunt Jemima showed up and said, "I'm going to hop on your team as a sub since you don't have a third," and now they're taking game one and in a very decisive way.
I kind of wonder if he walked into the Walmart and is just like, "Ohio, what up?"
He just sauced all over everybody.
Everyone, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. But that's a tough loss for Coneheads.
Yeah. Especially with how well they were doing earlier in the night. I mean, they were, again, just flowing so well, not making any. And even watching that, they weren't doing a whole lot wrong. It just seemed like overall Sinister just able to kind of connect on everything, which I want to see more from Coneheads, because you guys did an amazing job of bringing some exciting games earlier, and the car just flying through with all the ball touches that he's had tonight. So we're hopping on board game 2 here. We're going to see if the Coneheads maybe figured out a strategy or came up with some answers to what Sinister Nation's bringing to the table. But everyone in chat, I want to see you guys. You guys need to send up here. You need to send your boys some loves as they're trying to take game 2 and the best of 3 here in the winners finals. So where are you at, Sinister Nation?
Sinister Nation looking to advance as Aunt Jemima. Oh, good block there. Heads up play as Laugh. That's above 1, and the car is back, playing the patient game. Oh, Aunt Jemima just comes screaming in. What is this shot?
Whew. Wow, the angle on that is so beautiful. He just knew exactly how to play that. Again, the boost management, taking that shot in. I think they were maybe a little bit overcommitted, but at the end of the day, I think Sinister Nation is feeling themselves so much. We're going to see a lot more aggression coming into this round here.
Well, no, they were definitely overcommitted for sure, but doesn't really matter in that certain time frame, because Coneheads, they had 2 men out of the net and only 1 was there. So it actually makes sense to be aggressive at that point. But there was one coming back as a bump comes through, but Laugh able to get that block.
That was a great recovery, as you called out, from Laugh getting blocked there to able to come back and get that in for the save. And right now, the car just doing a great job of buying time, and the challenge comes in where they're going to get this overcommitment here from Sinister Nation and kind of capitalize a little bit. But Sinister Nation's flying back on the defense, getting everybody back at the right time that they need to. So just the small differences here between the two teams that are really coming into play to show, I guess, the difference in skill.
We're seeing a lot of heads-up play as well from Sinister Nation. They're able to recover and get right back on the ball. No hesitation at all. Big bump there from the car. Where is the backup? Not quite there. I believe there was a block coming from the backboard. Unfortunately, we can only see what you guys see in this particular instance right now because of just the way that it worked out, logistics, et cetera, et cetera. So didn't quite see who the defense was there on the backboard, but now Aunt Jemima's up for this. Double touch off the crossbar.
A little bit off, but such a beautiful move, knowing where to go.
And an open net on the other side. The car able to recover out of the net and got it over 1.
Well, we'll be able to see here who maybe wasn't able to get back. But no, it just looks like they were going for the goal, which again, it's not the wrong thing to do in that situation, and just lose it and let the car kind of take it across field here. So 1-1 across the board here. We're finally clicking down here in the final 2.5 minutes of the game, and things are going to start to get really sweaty and really tense here as the teams look to advance themselves into the next rounds as we close up here, guys. I mean, it's Rocket League Tuesday nights. This is what it's all about, the high-paced, high-flying action, and things are definitely, I guess, where we expect them to be at between the skill levels between these teams. They're definitely starting to level out here and make things a lot more exciting.
And they are definitely starting to level out a little bit. I think Coneheads don't have anything else to lose at this point, so they just relaxed and said, let's see what happens. King Elite popped up here for the car. The car has to follow this one through. A triple commit on Sinister Nation will give Coneheads the lead for the first time in the series.
And Sinister Nation needs to do something right now off of that goal. They need to watch this and figure out what's leading to these goals, because both of those that have been put in by Coneheads has really just been about Sinister Nation kind of not being in the right place or where they need to be.
Right, I was going to ask you what you thought was the issue there on Sinister Nation's side, as DJ butt cheeks clapping him.
He's making all the noise. You have
I
to,
said
man.
it.
I mean,
I can't believe I just said that.
And it's not in a rap song.
No.
I'm proud of you. I feel like you crossed a new threshold there. You can say in your professional career you got to use butt cheeks in the right way. I'm done talking about butt cheeks. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
I feel so awkward.
I don't know where to go with this. Yeah. You know what? Let's move on. Trying to
I'm gonna
squeeze on off butt cheeks.
You gotta pinch one more joke off, don't you?
God. You can't just float. You can't float. We're going to have to talk to this guy. Dude, just go with DJ.
I think I saw someone in the chat say his last name is Butt Cheeks. It's totally not true, but that's just what I'm going with because someone in chat said it.
It's the second word in his name here, so
every other DJ I know makes his DJ name his real name. So I mean,
obviously, yeah.
But Conehead's definitely coming back in game 2, answering a lot of the questions that we needed to have them answer as far as what's going on.
Oh my!
Why was it a 6-1 game? But now Sinister Nation just making some small mistakes with the overcommits, leading to a 2-goal deficit here. Which there's a minute left. We've seen Sinister Nation do a lot more with less. So let's kind of jump in here and see what they're going to do as they look to move the ball across the field here. But
Laugh attempting.
Yeah.
Vert. Thought that was Vert right there, but now Laugh and King Elite clashing. It'll be DJ. Pop up here. The car is up. So is Vert. Vert looking for the pass, but I think that's Laugh on the other side. Couldn't quite make it happen. He does happen this time as Aunt Jemima looking for the double touch. Not going to happen, and the car gets in the way just in time of the shot. We're in the last minute here. Coneheads 3-1 over Sinister Nation. Coneheads basically just need to buy some time, and Aunt Jemima on the pickup for Sinister Nation. The last minute sub is King Elite blocking any play coming through. Now Vert on the clearance.
Perfect opportunity for Vert to put it on the goal. He's been the man
to
go to.
Aunt Jemima set up. Not quite happening there. Is Vert, DJ, almost said Vert, hello, as Laugh.
He's just trying to avoid those butt cheeks, man.
You know what, I'm trying, man. I'm really trying here. But Aunt Jemima set up. Oh, he couldn't quite do it on that particular play. Now 10 seconds left. King Elite really needed to score it right there, I think, to really seal the deal. But as time winds down, Sinister Nation is going to go down. We're going to have a tie-up in the series to see who moves on to the grand finals and who moves down to the lower bracket.
And this is exactly why we've said this time and time again so far tonight. Show up and just do what you and your team are going to do, because like we saw there, I don't think we expected Coneheads to come back that strong. I mean, mentally and momentum, when you just get beat and shut down 6-1, it's sometimes hard as a team to really take a moment back and go, okay, breathe, relax, start over. And I think that's what Coneheads really did there, because answering with a win 3-1, now that kind of takes the wind away from Sinister Nation, where now Sinister Nation is now having to take a step back and breathe and try to figure each other out. And when you beat somebody 6-1 and then lose, that's got to be a little bit tough to kind of try to figure out mentally, how are we so dominant, and then what did we do wrong, or what did they figure out that we were doing to capitalize and take advantage of us there. So going into Game 3 here soon for you guys, and huge shout-outs to everyone over there at that location, because that has been the one spot so far for 2 weeks in a row that the Rocket League community is just not letting anyone down. I mean, anyone in that area that's either played or been around seems to be showing up. So we're super excited to have, and we really want to shout your guys' names out. So anytime we see somebody new on the board or out at one of these arenas or on our leaderboard here, we're going to make sure to give you guys plenty of love. So I've been looking over at chat. Seems like there's a ton of people showing Sinister love some Nation. I'm not seeing a whole lot of love for our boys Coneheads, but they're all in the same facility, so I hope they're just kind of yelling at each other, keep the camaraderie going. But so
Definitely.
far, we're week 3. Week 4, I think we're going to get a lot of questions answered as far as who the elite teams are that have been showing up on a consistent basis. So I'm going to shut up for a moment here and just try to talk a little bit more about the game, because so far with what Sinister Nation Coneheads has been bringing to the table has been amazing. And as I tell myself to shut up, the car just puts a perfect shot in goal from midfield with no one there on the defense coming from Sinister Nation. And I think that's, if you're Sinister Nation, if you're Vert, you guys really need to start to kind of defense up a little bit more. I think they had all the confidence about their skills, and I think they're just forgetting that they're playing against some people that are also highly talented as well, and those talents sometimes clash. But Aunt Jemima coming in with the amazing touch there just to kind of win the field, control the pitch of the ball, and I think that's really going to help Sinister Nation here in the next 30 seconds put a goal on. But again, Conehead's just doing a great job of getting in there and being a nuisance.
Now, they really are, and that's exactly what you kind of have to do against a team like Sinister Nation. Just keep the pressure up and try to force a mistake. And a lot of that comes down to boost control, a couple of bumps here and there. But Sinister Nation has been moving around quite a bit. They don't really allow time to aim up a bump or really anything at all. As that's a big miss from Laugh. Nobody there to take advantage as King Elite was actually out of boost in the car, picking up the slack. Send it to the other side, but Sinister Nation backing off.
So I know we said we'd avoid the butt cheeks, but somebody in chat.
This is not on us.
It's not on us.
Not on us.
He said Aunt Jemima's really buttering up them butt cheeks. I mean, that's a good play on words there. So bravo, chat. You guys are keeping us entertained with the play on words here. But
buttering up them cakes. I'll own that one.
I'm falling in love with the meme names of the Rocket League community tonight.
Telling you,
they've showed up and they've made me very happy.
Rocket League does not mess around when it comes to the clean, family-friendly memes.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, we don't mess around.
Clean butt cheeks all night. No dirty ones, I'm sorry. But the chat, again, you guys are our lifeline here. I mean, so far, you guys, again, weeks on weeks, we're getting a ton of love from the Sinister Nation family. And overall, the Rocket League community, you've been, again, Ninja, doing a great job of really challenging them to show up. And I'm going to give you credit that the reason we're seeing a lot of these guys with big names come in.
What a save! King Elite coming through. Absolutely insanity. On the goal, I managed to keep it together and keep this game 1-0. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but good Lord, amazing just play all over the place.
I want to see that on a replay. I'm at a loss for words. The fact that that didn't credit them, you got to be crying right now if you're Sinister Nation.
Beautiful. Sinister Nation starting to open up the scoring, or at least the attempts. As King Elite follows through. King Elite showing a lot of tenacity here. Attempting the ground pitch, not going to work as Vert picks up. This is actually a pretty hyped game. We should mention this is to break the tie and who gets to move on to the grand finals and who gets to go down to the lower bracket. We don't know who they're going to face quite yet, but it's going to be the winner of Sugar Daddies versus Rockwell. We'll have to see as the car will lose this one out. Laugh right there, but DJ setting up. Aunt Jemima on the catch. Right back over to the other side. Possible shot, not quite wide enough. As Laugh up for this. Bit of a bad angle on the shot, though, and we're starting to see some offense from Sinister Nation. But Coneheads, they're trying not to turtle up, but they're kind of being forced to.
It seems like Sinister Nation's definitely coming forward with the aggression, but their ball touches seem to be off just a little bit where they're not connecting where they need to be. But that's all right because they're taking the shots, they're putting the pressure on. They just need to make sure they don't do something like this. Luckily, Laugh's playing midfield. He's in the right spot, but I feel like they're just not getting back to the defense's plays where they need to be and capitalizing on those moments.
But with time running out, it's actually not a bad idea to just go for it as King Elite goes for a bump here on Vert. Vert recovers well. The car looking for a shot. Not enough power on it, though. And we're coming up here on a minute left. to see who moves on to the grand final and who gets knocked down as Laugh off of the wall, looking for Vert, but too much mustard on that one. Sends it away. The car on the pickup. Aunt Jemima, good read. This is going to fall off the ceiling, and King Alita, great read. To send it away right down to the car. Manages to get the clear and use up a little bit of time here with 45 left. I should say about 40 left.
I was going to say, I think Coneheads, and this might be reading into a little bit too much. I'd love to talk with Vert and Aunt Jemima about what their overall strategy is.
God.
They've so far, Sinister Nation tonight has done a great job of putting balls off the backboard and making goals, and I think that's what Coneheads picked up on. And they have someone not sitting in goal, but just playing that top annoyance and getting the ball out so they don't have a chance to play that crossbar.
Just about 10 left. Aunt Jemima on possibly the last push. Laugh has to pop this one up, looking for the third man to come through. No boost, no communication. The car and Aunt Jemima go for the pinch, and the car is able to clear this one away. It'll be Coneheads to move on to the grand finals, sending Sinister Nation to the lower bracket. And again, I haven't been updated on who they will be facing, as it looks like Sugar Daddies and Rockwell might actually be waiting for us.
Woo. So they were waiting to get on the main stage and show everybody on stream the action. So like you just said, guys, unfortunately, Sinister Nation going down to the losers bracket, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for them, because as skilled and prepared as they seem to be, I think they're in an okay place here. And we've talked about this before. It's a point-based system here, so taking home second or third place isn't a bad thing for them, because they're still sitting in first place right now, I think by 6 points. So they can afford to take home second and third and still kind of be maybe either in first or tied for first. So Sinister Nation, bravo to you guys. Unfortunately, you fall there, but we're going to hop on board with some more action and kind of keep going throughout the night. And that's what I'm super excited for, is just to see things switched up a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to actually take a little bit of a break, guys. Let the overpowered PCs cool down a touch.
Air out. My hands are sweaty, so I got to dry them off anyway.
Dry them off? You got to go have a bit of a wash?
A little bit, yeah.
No?
Dry them off. Okay, so question.
Squeaky clean butt cheeks is what we're saying?
My butt cheeks are actually dry right now, so luckily no sweaty.
That's good.
There's no sweaty,
The AC is working.
It is. It's keeping me nice and cool in here.
That's actually not bad, I have to admit.
That California hot weather.
Bit of a jacket. I'm kidding. Anyways, so want to thank you guys for being with us, of course. We do have more action coming your way, so stay tuned. You're watching Esports Arena on Twitch.tv.
Are you enjoying the music like me, Ninja?
No, I'm working. I'm actually working.
I'm dancing. I'm sorry. It's still in my head. I think the music stopped, but and now you're just giving me evil looks.
The music stopped.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
just
sorry.
letting you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I like to dance.
Don't apologize.
Good.
I'm
gonna
just
keep
letting
dancing.
you know the music stopped.
It's Rocket League Tuesdays. I'm excited. I think our fans are excited. Our
Our
viewers
fans
are excited.
No, hey, I'm a very reserved, excited.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my excited face.
You have your exciting moments where I've seen the full-blown Ninja come out, and you guys aren't ready for that when he's on camera. I think only when we're in game is when you need to unleash that monster onto everybody, because if they were to see the true levels of Ninja, they couldn't handle it.
I have to be very careful when I unleash the beast, if you will.
I like it.
Careful, buddy. My girlfriend might have issue with the way you say that.
You think so?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I'll talk to the girlfriend, and we'll make some exceptions.
Oh, no, there will be no exceptions. She just won't have a problem with it.
Even better. I like
Yeah.
it. I like your girlfriend.
She's cool.
I feel like I shouldn't say that.
Why? She's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll be okay with me saying I like her? Maybe she doesn't like me is a question. Maybe you guys don't like me.
Actually, you know what? She hates you.
Okay, that's what I like to hear.
No, it's fine.
I want to change her mind about our relationship, Ninja.
About
So,
I thought you were going to say hers, yours and hers, and what?
No, I don't do that. I do not. So, Sinister Nation, unfortunately, in the losers bracket, who's again been I'm not going to say favorite guys, but I had to turn off my phone because it's about to die. And chat-wise, Sinister Nation, all of their fans, all of their supporters have been showing up. So if you're Coneheads, if you're any of the other teams that were watching tonight, Sugar Daddies, we really guys want to see you guys represent yourselves in chat, because we want to call your guys' names out. We want to learn more about you guys. But like I said, unfortunately, my phone's dead. So I'm not going to see anything else but some exciting gameplay footage for you guys tonight. And we're really wondering what Sinister Nations, I guess, is going to be able to do now, kind of trying to work themselves back out of that losers bracket, being winners of week 1, and I think they took home second place week 2. So,
well, I mean, they have just this one game left to get back into the upper bracket, which they will be facing Coneheads again if they can. But Sugar Daddies, I should say, they got their work cut out for them. Let's face it. They were looking a little rough around the edges. The last time that we saw them against Rockwell.
No, you can say it.
I mean,
no one.
Sinister Nation, I think, really does have this. Let's face it. But honestly, we just got to get in the game and see what Sugar Daddies can do. At this point, it's time to just let it all hang out and see what happens. Throw everything on the wall and see what sticks, et cetera, et cetera.
There's no better way to put it, only because if you're Sugar Daddies, you're already in losers bracket. Again, we don't know a whole lot about their background. So again, maybe someone in chat or someone on there can help us out here. Fill us in on where you guys are from, what your experience level is, and that's something that we've talked about so many times tonight, is there's different levels to what you guys are going to face with these esports events, because depending on the day of the week that works best for you might not be best for your team. We've seen some substitutions and some late game show-ups tonight. So these are all things to take into consideration when you guys are trying to really, I guess, evaluate your skill, your team skills, and what you guys are going to be able to do in a LAN environment. And at the end of the day, again, 1v1 and 3v3 events that you guys have the opportunity to place for. So it's super cool. We're also excited to announce probably in the next week or two what the prizes are going to start to be looking out for. But we really want more people to show up to really grind out those points to make that ladder situation more interesting. Because right now we're pretty close as far as the point spread goes.
Yeah, and right now it's more or less, you show up and take home a win, if you will. You get some swag, T-shirts and stickers and all that cool stuff. And probably not that one, because that was a special edition. You had to go to the Rocket League birthday party they had in San Diego.
You're not getting that shirt. Yeah, no one's.
No, I have that shirt.
But they're not getting this.
No. You don't have that shirt now, and you're done.
But we do have some awesome swag, like you said. So, there's nothing. I guess I would want more than swag, other than being able to say I either beat some of my online rivals or my friends in person. Because week 1, we actually had some ex-pros downstairs who didn't even play on stream. They were just kind of bantering between each other, calling each other out, which was kind of interesting to see and hear and listen to. So we want more of that. We definitely do. Yeah,
no, we really do. And we got to figure out a way to put some of that on stream if they start going at each other.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. Obviously, respectful.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, how about we take this moment to send that challenge, to send that double dare out to all the aspiring pros, the subs in the RLCS, even the pros that, there's 7 different locations, so there's got to be a lot of high-level Rocket League guys that are here that could show up, that we could have some fun and some friendly banter with. Again, maybe build a Colorado Springs versus Oakland versus how cool would it be to see maybe Sinister Nation build a team out of that specific location and take on another one. There's a lot of different things we're working with here, guys, just to kind of keep you entertained. Make sure that, again, Rocket League Tuesdays continues, because this is what you guys want. This is what we want. So we got to work together.
I think we can kind of tease this a little bit. You mentioned the, location versus location type setup.
Mm-hmm.
That might actually be in the works.
Ooh.
Maybe. Possibly.
That's a title I would hold over my friends forever. Would be, I beat you guys on LAN. I got all this nice swag. You have to wait till next season to even have a chance to take that title from me. So what better way to hold that over your friends' heads than a whole month break?
Oh, yeah.
They don't have
more.
any answers.
Or more. Yeah, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to admit, though, it would be really cool to see Roseville versus Oakland type setup, or even Santa Ana here in Orange County versus Fort Worth, kind of like the southern locations going at each other, and trying to figure out who is the best. You can even go with a winter thing, Spokane versus Colorado Springs, the snowiest of snows, and we'll put you all on winter maps.
Who's the coldest team out there? I like that. And that's something that
we're literally brainstorming right now. This is actually fresh ideas.
And that cold environment brought up something that we didn't talk about, which is we're getting some collegiate teams that have shown up in the past weeks. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, none this week. But we had UCS Frost last week, and then
UCC,
we had another college team. I'm trying to remember on week 1, which is pretty cool to, I guess, experience, is the fact that a lot of people are taking this opportunity to really test their skills and see how they're going to be competing in these environments. And that's really what we're asking from you guys is, what do you need to, I guess, have a competitive environment to participate in? And so far, we're trying to present that by bringing all these locations together to hold these weekly events for you on Tuesdays. And so far, I think I'm just going to keep congratulating Sinister Nation, because, again, they've done such a great job of spreading the message and the awareness of bringing players out there. And we saw that tonight with them subbing in Aunt Jemima, who isn't a part of their normal team or squad. So cool.
It's really not. And that's a great way. You gain a couple of friends while you're there, just hanging out with everyone. And then out of nowhere, you have somebody you can call in case something happens. Or maybe he was coming in anyways and was running a little bit behind and showed up and ended up being needed. So the other thing we should also mention is that earlier during the day, we have a 1v1 tournament as well. So if you want to just come in and see how you can do in a ones format, you can if you wish. But now we have a game on our hands.
And Brock coming in clutch there with the block, making sure that ball doesn't go in right off the bat here. And this is where you're really testing your skills. And I'm surprised that, I'm surprised he didn't go in the goal there to play defense, knowing the ball was just kind of floating there.
Well, you had 2 there.
He did have 2 other people to kind of trust,
Duckling was right there, and then just waited for Brock to pick up the ball. Duckling needed to clear that for sure.
I think it's something that we actually talked about a little bit earlier. Maybe just some hesitation coming into play there that might have cost them the score. But Sinister Nation, if you're them, that's what you want going into the first 30 seconds of the losers finals best 3 matchup.
Yeah, we should mention again that this is the lower finals. Sugar Daddies have had a okay tournament all around. They made it to round 2 and were actually knocked out by Coneheads. And then they ended up knocking out Rockwell out of the tournament. So not bad for them. As Aunt Jemima, that's a big miss actually for him. Rock. Laugh trying to send this one towards the net. Nobody in net. I believe Nightmare was the one back and should have been rotated in. Sugar Daddy's having some rotational issues, but from the midfield, it'll be Aunt Jemima to send in the second one.
And this is what I really want to see come into play here from Sinister Nation, is they really need to focus on getting those touches at the right angles. It seems like any reason these past 2 games that they've missed, it's just been either miscommunication or a bad angle that just puts the ball at a slight unfortunate situation where they're not able to get it in at all. And if they can connect with those touches, get them a little bit crisper, I think Sinister Nation is walking home the victors tonight. But obviously the Coneheads and the Sugar Daddies, they're trying to stop them. And Sinister Nation and Jemima just not letting this game go very far with Sugar Daddies here. But when we talked about this going in, I don't think it's anything me and you are really surprised about.
Not really. I mean, Sugar Daddies, they did have a real rough time against Coneheads, and that's the only team really in this bracket that is comparable to Sinister Nation, as we saw before. And honestly, it was going to be a tough one. But I think this is a great test. More than anything else, it's a fantastic test to just see how Sugar Daddies are going to do. The Sugar Daddies, like I said, they have some decent mechanical ability, but their team play is being tested right now against Sinister Nation. And it's all on the line, too. They're basically looking at a 4th place. I'm sorry, a 3rd place.
And I think that's something that we really need to touch on here for everybody that might be questioning whether or not they should show up, or thinking that they might not have the talent or the skill set to try to compete here. And the reason I'm going to tell you to not think that, whoa, that's going in.
So Nightmare getting credit, but it was actually, is that Laugh? No, Laugh didn't touch that. That was Aunt Jemima. Man, what a beautiful shot on your own goal, huh?
Unfortunately, just hits it with the bad angle. I think maybe either mistiming or out of boost to pop it further into the air and just bounce off his front bumpers into his own goal. So, I mean, not a bad situation if you're Sinister Nation. You're still up 2 goals, but definitely don't want to give away any free ones. And when you're thinking about the next matchup going against Coneheads, those are mistakes that are really going to cost you a match. But Aunt Jemima says, you know what? My bad. Let me go ahead and
we'll get that back. Yeah, we'll get that back right here. And low on boost and just timed it nicely. Sugar Daddy's pushing the envelope a little bit too much, especially this early in the game. They were only down by 2 goals. No need to really go crazy on it, but the double commit coming out hard for Sugar Daddies.
And I think that's just going to be the biggest difference that we see between a lot of these teams develop over the next 3 weeks, is which teams take the time to really ask those questions to themselves about what they can do to get better. And even more so than that, maybe working with the other people at these events to kind of play afterwards, you know, run some scrims or invite people to some private matches. But Aunt Jemima is definitely showing up today. And I like the fact that this is a 3rd-man pickup for Sinister Nation, because
solid.
Seeing what Coneheads did to them in a 3v3 and knowing that they might have had to take that challenge, Sinister Nation being down a man, it wouldn't have made things pretty for sure.
No, definitely wouldn't have. And this is a huge pickup actually for Sinister Nation. Possibly, I mean, maybe Aunt Jemima found himself a team.
Definitely so.
I don't believe he's on a team at this particular moment. Maybe I'm sure he's got reasons for that. Possibly just school or work or whatever's going on, you know, life getting in the way of things, as we both understand that happening. Aunt Jemima, nice little pass over here to Bird, as that right there, the old 1, 2, 3, 1. That was a 4-man play.
I was going to say, unfortunately, Nightmare tries to, you know, be goalie here and play block, but when it's a 2v1 and they're just kind of playing keep away from you, you're not, you got to guess, and if you guess wrong, it's going in. And he didn't really make a move there, but I can't blame him because it's too hard.
Well, that's the thing, though, is he needed to make a move.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Make a read.
Maybe there's a little bit of nervousness going on, and that's understandable. But in those situations, make your move. Don't worry about it. Just make your move and get the clearance. Even if it goes to the side, you interrupted the play, and that's what's most important. Right here, though, is an example of how you have to get some power on it. Brock Meadslam just going the wrong way. He was already going in that direction when he pushed back, and even just using the front bumper like that, it's not going to get the ball into the direction you want it to go when you already have it traveling in a certain momentum. This is kind of the physics behind Rocket League. You have to hit it. You can't just gently caress it.
And if you do, you're going to see someone that's, you know, more, I guess, maybe well-versed or seasoned like Aunt Jemima kind of take advantage of that situation. He knows he can kind of power through that challenge and just put the ball on net and it's going in. So
exactly, dead on. And should probably mention, too, you know, Vert has a fantastic chance to play with Aunt Jemima. Vert showing a lot of enthusiasm on Twitter and a couple of other places. Seems to be having an absolute blast, and even Laugh able to benefit from the experience that Aunt Jemima brings to the table. But we are in the last minute here, finally, and the Brazil is on the board.
And it really seems like Aunt Jemima and Vert are doing a really good job of kind of communicating the passes and the plays, make sure they're reading the plays off the backboard. But this is something that I picked up, and this is something that they need to think about when they go to face up Coneheads. And I think it's the read that really changed the pace between the two teams. Is Coneheads does such a great job blocking those crossbar shots that I don't think Vert or Aunt Jemima are going to be able to play that backboard double touch at all, and that's really going to hurt them, because just like we saw there, saw the bounce come off the backboard, and time and time tonight, it's been either Laugh or Vert that come with that second touch to put it in. Every once in a while, it's Aunt Jemima, but it seems like Aunt Jemima, when he touches the ball, he's kind of playing more for overall control and getting the shots solo versus playing for the trades. But there it is, just double touch off the wall, and this is what Coneheads, I think, did a really good job evaluating and making sure they were set up to block, because this seems to be where most of their goals are coming from tonight.
But there's a quick change up to that, of course. Direct pass. Direct pass, use the sidewalls. Even use the ceiling. I've seen that used a few times recently. It's really become a lot more prevalent, using the ceiling as a passing tool.
Right.
It's harder to read, don't get me wrong. It does take a lot of practice to get that right. But let's face it, what else in Rocket League takes more practice? Everything.
Exactly. And I think that's maybe just where Sinister and my analysis, I guess, really going to come into play here when we see them going against Coneheads. But I think they maybe just got too comfortable with their strategy. And when they met Coneheads did a much better job of having a general strategy and then adapting when the situation required it, whereas Sinister Nation kind of just, I guess, feels too comfortable in what they're doing, and they're not willing to maybe look outside or think outside the box. But awesome comeback from Sinister Nation there. A huge scoring game, which has got to boost their confidence and boost their momentum going into this next one here, which is exactly what they need, especially being bumped down to losers.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. But, you know, Sugar Daddies, we didn't really see anything that they excelled at this time. And I think a lot of that mostly because, well, let's face it, Sinister Nation kind of just stuffed them into a corner and said, no, not today.
Unfortunately so.
Yeah, it's just a complete, I wanted to say utter chaos on the defense there for, you know, Sugar Daddies, but there's still something there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when they get rolling, they're good to go.
Yeah.
But the problem is that if they get knocked down real early, and, well, that's it. You can't rely on just the speed play like that off a kickoff. As a shot comes out, Vert, that was actually off target, but Brock meat slam back again, and it does kind of seem like they're relying on Brock a lot. Both Nightmare and Duckling not really active in much of anything.
And I was really surprised the goal didn't come in there from Sinister Nation, because you saw Sugar Daddies try to push for that offensive ball, but unfortunately the ball missed there, and then Sinister Nation sending 3 guys on the rotate. But wow, what a great touch by Brock to make sure that goes in there over. I believe that was Aunt Jemima playing the defense move there and just barely touches it to put it up.
Speed play there. Aunt Jemima just, it's so hard to anticipate that. And in that particular instance, usually you would see players just start heading back towards net and let whoever's rotating back, you know, take that instead of cutting. But split-second decision, probably didn't quite have the intel on where his teammates were. So you got to do what you got to do. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out.
And I think that's something that you brought up earlier is just make a decision. Whether it's the right or the wrong one, make it and learn from it later. Because the last thing that you want to do is hesitate and cause your teammates' decision to be, you know, either mistaken or sometimes thrown off because they're trying to anticipate what you're doing. But unfortunately, a mistouch by Sugar Daddy's just leaving the ball in front of the goal. He was, I understand, trying to get it out as much as he could there, but just no speed on it from Brock to really get it out. And Laugh just in the right place to make sure it goes in there on the mistouch. So we're going back on the kickoff, and this is what you want to see. Both teams kind of answering up a little bit of a closer matchup. And if you're Sinister Nation, this is where you really want to turn it up. You want to make sure to solidify to Sugar Daddies that they don't stand a chance and that you're here to basically shut them out. But allowing a point on the board isn't terrible, but Vert, just a backwards touch. I love it. He put that one in, and he put it with some speed.
He really did. That's actually a fantastic play right here. And then Brock just could not get the touch that he was looking for. I mean, he had the idea of maybe just knocking it down, but you don't want to knock it down towards the center.
Right.
You'd want to knock it down either towards a corner or just keep it along the wall. So a little bit of a mistake there, but that's actually something you can learn from, and a fairly simple technique and strategy call that could clean up a lot of things. As Laugh will actually go off the backboard, or I'm sorry, off the crossbar on this. 3:30 left. It's 3-1 for Sinister Nation.
And something that you brought up there that I want to reiterate a little bit for everyone watching is that when we're pointing out mistakes here, we're doing it to help you guys grow. And that's all any competition really should be for you, is you're never in a perfect place, and you're never not going to have perfect. Wow.
Well, okay.
I love it. Just, I think that
team play double touch.
Yep, they're just working really well together right now, and I think it's a great read by Aunt Jemima there to know that either Laugh or Vert's going to be in the right spot. But kind of going back to what I was talking about is that there's nothing wrong with losing or having a bad game right now, because as long as you're willing to take a positive out of that, you know, try to learn from your mistakes or grow from them as either an individual or a team, that's a positive loss. And I think that's what we're seeing so far from a lot of these guys that have been showing up so far for the first 2 weeks. Is each week it seems like anything that we've pointed out, they're doing their best to really try to, I guess, come up with the solution to make themselves better, which is awesome to see, because we're excited as casters to watch you guys grow each week, and it brings a new level of competition for us to get excited to watch and our viewers to get excited to watch. So again, keep doing what you're doing, guys, and keep working to improve yourselves, because we love Rocket League, you love Rocket League, and it was meant to show up on Tuesdays, I think it was.
Oh yeah, I have always said that Esports Arena is designed for Rocket League. Rocket League is one of the easiest games to pick up and kind of learn about. You know exactly what's going on for the most part. The casters are able to explain it and obviously put the proper embellishments on. And then the players, absolutely fantastic. Even when they aren't the greatest in the world, it's still an exciting game. And this game is actually decently exciting. Yes, the scoreline may not show that, but we're seeing a lot of mechanical ability.
Right.
And a few... Vert. Well, stunning plays.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistouch there, something we don't see too often from Vert, but we'll feed him a little bit of a harder time on Twitter for that mistouch.
Oh yeah, no, we're going to we're gonna rip into him on that one. We're gonna rip into him on that one. He just blocked his teammate's shot. Vert, what are you doing?
He's being the best goalie a goalie can be.
Other than the crossbar.
Other than the crossbar,
yeah.
We've learned that no one blocks more shots than the crossbar.
Well, I think we figured that out last night. There's a theory going around.
Really? Okay.
When it comes to how good of a goalie the actual frame is, in EU, it's the crossbar. Okay. In NA, it's the posts.
Ah, okay. Those EU guys like going for the headers, do they?
A bit, yes. A bit, yes.
I just wish I could talk with an accent like in the game, because I just feel so charmless as a caster without that English accent right now. I feel like our viewers would be much more entertained if I had that British tongue going on.
I love this shot right now, Brock. Nice and easy, and then the fake. I think it looks like he actually ran out of boost, and Laugh was not expecting that at all.
And it ends up working out for him. I mean, he just floats over the ball,
and that's all that matters.
Yep, and that's something that we've seen a few times, and I've said a couple times as well, is that make a decision and stick with it. And sometimes it's going to be the right one. Sometimes it's going to be the wrong one. But amazing ability to just bounce it off his back there and put it in front of the goal. Nothing comes from it. But that's what you want to see from an upper skill play, is just something like that. And luckily, Nightmare able to get back for the block. But this is going to be a goal by Laffis.
Oh!
He's not able to get the right angle on it.
Brock came back just in time and speared into the ball.
Let's go, Vert.
Vert attempting. Brock again right there. Challenged by Vert. Vert looking for the pass. That's a bit of a miss. Aunt Jemima on the pop-up. Knight trying to race in, but so was Brock. Brock is the one that actually gets it. Duckling was looking for a pass, it looked like. And Sugar Daddy's, the defensive rotation, let's face it, it's not there. They're relying on one guy to make all the defense and then look for a pass at the same time. It doesn't work that way. You need at least two back there to rotate in, even just a block. The third guy needs to come in and possibly make the clear depending on what's going on. It's very situational. And being aware of the situation is what actually counts. So Sinister Nation will be credited with the win for Spokane.
So it's going to be a run back. And this is...
No, it is not.
Oh, it's not. Uh-oh.
So this is one of the small problems that we thought might actually happen, and sure enough, it did. Texas had to close because Walmart's closing.
Forget, they're in a different time zone.
Different time zone. Yeah, it's Tulsa. I'm sorry, it was Tulsa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, Oklahoma.
So
Coneheads, playing out of Tulsa, had to
close up shop.
Go home.
But again, that's just another reason why you guys should show up, because again, look at how well they did. Look at what they were able to accomplish. And this is going to put a lot of pressure on both Coneheads now and Sinister Nation going into next week and the next rounds. Is how fast can you get through these teams?
We should also mention, Coneheads are also credited with a win. Because you have to remember the leaderboards are based on your location, where you're at more than anything else. Yeah, we might combine brackets and depending on who shows up for the week and whatever, and try to put together a really awesome stream or a great tournament for you. But it does come down to the location. And in this particular sense, Tulsa, for Coneheads, going to get the 10 points.
That's awesome for them.
And then Sinister Nation for Spokane Valley, yes, will be getting the 10 points for them. They'll just be finishing early.
And that's something that I guess we should talk about, since they are trying to qualify for the end of the season tournament. So if I'm not mistaken, and our production team will correct me if I'm wrong here, but each location is going to have a team that's represented in that season finale.
Correct.
So if you're not at the Sinister location to play against those guys, this is actually looking pretty good for you. If you're at Oakland, if you're at our hometown here, Santa Ana, it's just even more of a reason for you to get some people together. And I'm trying to be so good about that.
just to see what happens. And I'll be honest with you, there will be announcements soon, guys.
The prize, guys, the prize.
I know. It's
you want it.
It's not finalized, but it's big. I'll tell you that. It is big. Guys, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I know it's been a little bit of a grind. We had a couple of technical issues, some of it coming from the update, and that always happens. We've been over that multiple times. And some of that coming from just other technical issues between the stores. And, of course, unfortunately, our Midwest locations have to actually shut down. So that's going to pretty much end the stream for us. Tune in every single night because this is Season 2.
Tomorrow they got some fights going on.
We got some fights, Wednesday night fights. That's right, showing up. Thursday, we'll have Super Smash Thursdays. Fortnite, your show.
Was that a good dab? You like the dab? No? I'm just going to go back to my... If you guys
Monday,
like
of course, they have
moves.
League Night, if you will. Late Night League, League of Legends. That one runs super late. Was talking to one of our producers. Yeah, they ran until like 2 in the morning.
Those League of Legends guys.
Fantastic games, though.
I got to hand it to them. Those guys, you want to talk about committed. And this is what we want to see from you, Rocket League guys. Tuesdays, we want to see you committed. Sinister Nation, you guys are committed. Yeah. So, round of applause out to Sinister Nation. And again, Coneheads, everyone else that's showing up, we appreciate you guys so much, because without you, we wouldn't really be anything except for maybe good-looking casters for Rocket League.
Well, maybe you.
throwing it up in the air there.
Maybe, but I can tell you this. Want to thanks to Come On Ray, thanks to Coneheads for showing up, the Sinister Nation showing up as well. Rockwall showed up again, and Sugar Daddies for coming on out. It's been fantastic watching you guys play, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream as well while you were waiting for your match to come up. Thank you, everyone else, for all the support, and make sure you tune in tomorrow for Wednesday Night Fights, and we will see you guys next week. Good night, everyone.